All right, good morning, Wasteland. Mr. G live from a freezing cold garage with today a special guest on Wasteland Radio. We have Rotfish Bandit with us today. And what are we talking about today, Mr. Rotfish Bandit?
We're talking about Co-Driver, which is it's kind of like a coaching tool or like a performance feedback tool that reads the logs live and gives you feedback as you play the game.
You guys are like, what's he talking about? I was like, at first, he was like, dude, you get Co-Driver. I'm like, I'm using Bulldog, man. It's the best one. No, he's like, I made an app which digs into the logs of the game, and you can basically scroll through the metadata of your gameplay and find out a lot more about it. So let's look at Mr. G's. I'm going to hit profile here. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming at us. And you're like, Mr. G, your win rate is 29%. And I'm like, hey, disclaimer, I drive art builds as part of my job a lot of the time. So it's not going to be amazing, but we get a lot of info on this screen. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here. What are we looking at?
This is like a high-level overview of basically everything you could care to think about. So like in the top, it's the basic metrics of like surrounding win rate and what your total performance is. And then like on the left, there's more of an average feedback. There's a player index and a bot index, and that compares how useful you are to the average player and how useful you are compared to the average bot.
Explain those numbers to me in the audience then.
You are worth 1.5 bots when you join a game.
I'm dying a little inside. Oh, that's hilarious.
No. Well, you're worth
3/4 of a regular player or 1.5 bots. Okay, I'm gonna need you to help me look better because this tool does a lot more than just the profile screen, right? Because we can like filter with different metrics, yeah.
Right, you're looking at everything right now. So if you've played a lot of custom games, that's like in here right now too. I don't know what game modes you play, but like in the top right, there's filters to drill down to basically anything.
Okay, what do you think would make me look better to everybody that's watching this right now and going, Mr. G, I'm ashamed of your score?
8v8 is probably the most representative in the top right next to the reset button.
Okay.
But then if you have like a weapon you feel like you perform better with, we could look at that.
So let's do some 8v8s. Where are my porcos hiding? Let's look at those. Okay. And then how do I refresh? What have I done? I've made it worse.
It's just telling the truth. So the reset button up in the top will bring it back to like normal.
Okay. This is great though. Like I can look at all kinds of stuff in here. Let's see if I'm better with I'm not going to be better with an auto cannon. Gravistars. Maybe. Nope, 14%. No. That's worse.
It's just art builds though.
It's just the machine is going to tell me right now that Mr. G needs to help the team more.
You know in your heart you're a good person.
That's right. I'm worth 2.4 bots though with a Gravistar. So that's making me feel a little bit better. So I think everybody needs to try this thing out because I think it was enlightening to me. The first thing I noticed when I started playing was, one, how bad my win rate was. Two, I need to pony up a little bit more for my team because I know a lot of the times I'm just, hitting W and driving in like a maniac. All right, show me something else. What else should we look at when we're on here?
So you can track. So a lot of times when you play the game, you play against the same people all night. Like you play one power score in particular. Okay. So there's nemesis tracking and like victim tracking, so you can see
victim tracking.
I didn't know a better word. We have respect for everyone we play against.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
It'll show like who's been killing you tonight and who you've been taking out.
Nice.
You can double click on those to link to their web profile if you want. You don't have to do that now.
I'm kind of curious that this can go to. All right, what can we see about Boratov?
It would have popped up in Chrome.
Yeah, let's see. Now everybody's going to be searching Mr. G's profile. Oh, because this is linked through the Crossout DB website. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so this is a tool to condense data. Well, it was a standalone project, but I've been working with the Crossout DB developers.
His win rate's only slightly better than mine, so the matchmaking is apparently working because he's at 33%. Now
you don't have enough games to really have a representative.
Oh, you're just I appreciate that. I've seen your win rate. It's like 66%. So guys, it is achievable. Does the machine throw us all into 50% like you would think with a coin flipping experiment? No, it doesn't. So the common variable here is us as drivers, and co-driver is there to remind us what we're doing well and what we're not doing well. All right, so let's go through the tabs at the top. We got last match, so you can see what we did last match. We've got
and that updates at the you can run that on a second monitor while you play. It'll update as a recap of your last match.
Match history.
And match history, you can double click on any of these to take you to the individual match if you want to inspect it.
This is just what amazes me about everything we do online is that there is just this giant horde of metadata for everything that we mostly ignore. But you were like, I'm going to just tap into it and build a machine around it so people can look at this stuff, which I find as really cool. What is Garage Weapon Tester?
Do you have Crossout up right now?
I don't, but can you just tell me what I could do with it? Because I obviously need to use it in Garage, don't I?
Yeah, so it's a way of comparing different configurations, different weapons against each other. The second you start dealing damage in Garage, it's going to start building a chart on the left side of the screen here.
Okay.
And you can either do that in the top, you can see the type of trial that you can build, but you can do that based on time, or you can do that based on some damage you want to achieve to stop the trial. And then there's an add trial button in the bottom middle, and then you can add that to a screen that allows you to stack previous trials on top of each other, and then you could see, is it better to have 6 seals or 6 shivers? Which one gave me the best output?
Sure.
And then you can compare the two, or whatever, however you want to do it.
That's actually my next video is just explaining reload versus cooling, because people were on Reddit confused, and I was like, maybe I need to try this out when we get to that. All right.
So I'm actually able to calculate to the 10th of a second what your reload time is, and what the duration of your burst was, and all of that information.
Because everybody right now wants to know what weapon has the shortest reload, so we compare it with the new cabin and Mastodon. So this could.
I'm pretty sure it's adapter is the shortest.
Yeah. Oh, is it the one that feels like an autocannon machine gun thing, but it's reload based? Which one's the adapter?
It's a burst fire Reaper that sounds like a galloping horse.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know the one. It was a Ravager based one, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, it's got a weird model.
Okay, groovy. All right. Well, I did not realize that one was a reload. I probably assumed it was a machine gun cooling and heating one. All right. Well, groovy. Anything else you want to tell us before I, go try and improve my win rate?
Well, there's other tools if you want to get into that.
Let's take a look. Tools menu. What do we got in here?
Under the analysis menu, you can drill down.
Okay.
There's a build review, so you can look at the specific stats on the build. If you
do you have to do that in Garage as well, or just uses whatever you were driving with?
This is whatever. So in match history, you saw a hash value, and that's the game's unique ID for whatever build you're using. And you can either find it here, or you can filter it down in the top right. So if you want to look at all your porcupine builds here, you can, and then you can see which collection of parts and paints and decor or whatever.
All right, let's see if I can. All right,
got your best one right.
Porcos in there. Reset.
So you have a pork build with a higher win rate there, or you can sort by win rate if you want to.
Game mode AV8. 37.5. I'll take it. No, that's just AV8. Now, where's my Porcos at? And reset. Nope, that dropped right down. Interesting.
So you're going to see the builds that have more games are going to have more assigned parts, because this whole system works by, if you deal damage with a part, it adds it to it, the understanding of what the build is. Okay. So as your game count goes up, you have more understanding of what's going on with the build.
That's the best way to teach statistics right there. And that's that's why the house always wins. All right. Which the house is Targum in this particular game. And that's why they tax us in the store, guys. Mr. G's getting off topic today. All right. Let's see. What else we got in here? We got fusion calculator. Is that to calculate your odds on getting the fusion you want?
Yeah, I do a Monte Carlo algorithm with a million hypothetical fusions.
I was just rambling about the casino, and then you literally built a casino algorithm in here.
Yeah, kind of. It looks like you're on an older version, actually. Okay. But it doesn't matter.
I got to update.
No, I added stabilizers to it last week. But
Fuse.
You input whatever your target is,
Okay.
and then the cost per item.
Jesus.
And then normally I go for like whatever is the 75% odd.
Okay.
And then that's what I assume the cost is of whatever specific fusion I'm targeting.
So I'm looking like if you want to guarantee getting what you want, you're going to need to fuse more than 20 times. Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's without stabilizers. With stabilizers, it gets a little cleaner.
Well, I would imagine, yeah. But still, guys, just don't fuse things. It's not worth it. Unless it's the RN seal or an expanded ammo box. You know, those ones are good fusions. I mean, as someone with a promo account, I've literally just fused and fused and fused and fused again because I can and still not gotten the fusion I want. I cannot imagine what y'all do when you're throwing resources at this. You have a capture window. What's that about? Oh, it's
a screenshot. I mean, that's like
right.
You can press I think F10 for that too.
Okay.
Under analysis, there's a revenue tool if you want to see what your so you can track like what builds are earning you the most money, right? Because your win rate is tied into
that makes sense.
You know your revenue, and then you can see like what game modes right now are the most economically viable for you.
So you got like coins per hour as a ratio here in the last column.
Yeah, when you load up CodeDriver, I grab all of the current resource coin values from Crossout DB, and then I use those in these calculations.
So this has kind of been a partnership with the guys at Crossout DB, and I imagine a lot of people watching this video right now are unfamiliar with Crossout DB. So let's just jump in to check out Crossout DB to wrap up, and then tell these guys where they can find CodeDriver. Of course, I will put the link down below in the descriptions as well, guys. But tell us a little bit about what Crossout DB is as well.
Crossout DB is a market tool that pulls data from the game developers on what the state of the market is every 5 minutes, and then builds like an aggregate understanding of what the market's doing out of that. It just allows you to track like market trends on items and make better trades.
Long story short, let's say you have an Echo cabin, and you're like, that cabin's maybe going to go down in value because they're going to be releasing, this new reload cabin that Mr. G talked about the other day. Can we see like the long-term price of this cabin on like a line graph? Is there somewhere we can check that out?
Yeah, it's a beautiful graph.
Where do I find it? I love oh, there it is. There it is. Sorry, baby G is wandering into the studio, and she's like, Dad, I need you right now. I'm like, Dad, it's doing important Crossout news for the Wasteland. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. It looks like, it just recently was up, and then it's going back down again. So guys, if you're buying or selling stuff at Crossout, which you should be, you're learning important skills that you will use as an adult. Invest in more than one thing. There's your pro tip for the day. Can we find CodeDriver on Crossout DB, or where do we go to find that?
In the community links section at the top, there should be a link to my project.
Oh, look at that. Right there, and bam. CodeDriver by Rodfish Bandit. And for all of you that are way too lazy to go to Chrome and do that, just scroll down in my YouTube video for today, and you will find the link for CodeDriver. It's definitely made me rethink how I'm driving on the Wasteland. And if you want to get the absolute best builds you can get out there, go check it out. Do you have like an option for people to like donate or PayPal, or is it just 100% free project because you're one of those amazing, lovely people that just put this out there for the world to use?
I don't care if I make $1 off this. I do have a Patreon that you can link to from the About screen, but that's totally optional. Right. You don't get any special features.
All right, well, you will find the Patreon right below the link for CodeDriver. So if you're like, hey, dude, this thing's awesome, and you want to support Rodfish Bandit so he has even more free time to make it even cooler, hit him up on his Patreon. Guys, that is it for today. Mr. G needs to go dad mode, as you can see. So I will catch you on the next one. Big thank you, Rodfish Bandit.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Mr. G and Rodfish out. And that's a wrap, my friend.